The world had never seen a conflict like this before. What started as a long-standing territorial dispute exploded into the unthinkable. The day India and Pakistan unleashed their nuclear arsenals on each other was the day South Asia, and the world, was forever changed. Cue visuals of a calm morning transitioning to chaos, Indian and Pakistani leaders on the phone, military commanders scrambling, and cities bracing themselves. For decades, India and Pakistan have been locked in conflict, particularly over Kashmir. Both nations have developed nuclear weapons, but their fragile peace has always hung by a thread. The roots of this tension go back to 1947, when British India was partitioned into India and Pakistan. The partition left behind deep scars, communal violence, migration, and an unresolved border. The Kashmir region became the flashpoint, as both countries claimed it as their own.
Over the years, the fear of escalation has lingered, but both sides have managed to avoid the ultimate disaster. Until now, the imagery transitions to a map showing the locations of key cities and military bases, drawing a strategic map of the region. The day begins like any other, but a terrorist attack on an Indian military convoy near the border with Pakistan changes everything. Both nations point fingers, accusations fly, and diplomatic ties begin to break down. In this delicate geopolitical environment, the spark comes not from a nuclear detonation, but from a deadly attack, one too much for the leaders to ignore. Within hours, India accuses Pakistan of harboring terrorists. Pakistan denies it, but tensions escalate faster than anyone could have anticipated. Nuclear war doesn't happen overnight. The first few strikes are conventional. India launches airstrikes targeting militant camps, while Pakistan retaliates with artillery fire. But as each side suffers casualties and military leaders pressure their governments to act decisively, things take a more dangerous turn. As the death toll rises, diplomatic channels break down. The world watches in horror as each side's rhetoric turns more aggressive. And then, without warning, Pakistan fires the first nuclear missile, a tactical weapon aimed at a key military base in Rajasthan. The missile strikes a remote military facility, but the world knows this is just the beginning. In response, India launches its own missile towards Pakistan's military command center in Islamabad. The first blast is catastrophic, but it's only a harbinger of what's to come. India retaliates swiftly, and soon, both nations are locked in a nuclear exchange. It's not just the military facilities targeted, major cities become the focus. Islamabad, Lahore, Mumbai, New Delhi. The death toll climbs into the millions within hours. The world scrambles to respond. The UN calls for an immediate ceasefire. China, Russia, and the United States attempt to mediate, but the situation is too far gone. The world watches as India and Pakistan spiral into chaos. China offers to mediate, but it's clear they have their own interests in the region. The United States urges restraint, but both countries have their fingers on the trigger. In an era where everyone fears nuclear proliferation, this crisis becomes the nightmare scenario. The immediate devastation is almost unimaginable. Both countries have lost vital infrastructure, and millions are dead. But the true horrors of nuclear war go far beyond the blast zones. The devastation is only the beginning. The nuclear fallout spreads across borders, and radiation levels soar. The health crisis that follows is even more devastating. Cities are left uninhabitable, and those who survive the blasts face an uncertain future: contaminated water, food shortages, and a collapse of social order. The aftermath extends far beyond the region. Global economies collapse, and the geopolitical landscape shifts forever. In the years that follow, the effects are felt globally.
The global economy enters a deep recession, and energy prices skyrocket. Refugees flood into neighboring countries, causing political instability across South Asia. Nations that once were wary of each other now face a new, shared crisis, one that threatens the survival of humanity itself. The consequences of this war will echo for generations. The video concludes with a somber reflection, perhaps a shot of the burning skies above a deserted city, with the narrator's final words lingering in the air. This was the day South Asia burned, and with it, a piece of humanity was lost forever. If you found this exploration of a nuclear conflict compelling, subscribe for more in-depth stories on global events, conflicts, and their lasting impacts. Stay informed, stay aware.